Hey everyone, welcome back to the M&R show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Malcolm.
And today we have a special guest on the podcast. You've all have seen him before. We have Jordan from Sports Illustrated, the Chiefs edition. So, hey, give claps to Jordan, everyone.
I'm glad for you to be on. I'm glad to be on because I definitely want to hear what you got to say about this game. Because, as we can see, somebody lost this weekend. I want to make sure we all know what is going on. So I'm happy that you're on the show so we can be able to talk about it.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me on. I thought of Ron during the game. I was like, man, my dude's going through it right now. If you would have told me before the game or even after the game, let's say I hibernated through it or whatever, woke up, Ron said, hey, Chiefs only scored 19 points. I'd have been like, okay, well, how much did they lose by? If you would have told me the Chiefs had scored 19, I was like, no way the Chiefs defense can hold Dallas to, under 25 or whatever. So even with the Chiefs defense playing better as of late, and playing good football, to hold the number one offense, I know CD got hurt. I know Amari was out. Still, I know Zeke got hurt. There were a lot of what ifs. Tyron Smith out with ankle injury or whatever. So obviously, I think full strength Cowboys score more than 9 points, but still Chiefs defense, to go from literal worst in the NFL, one of the worst all time, to giving up 10 points per game over the last month. It's been an insane thing. So it was the opposite of the game I expected, kind of.
Yeah, I would say that too. Of course, I picked the Cowboys to win the game, so of course I was still disappointed anyway. But it's just so regardless of that, but I was my dad called me after the game. I'm like, Dad, I'm not pissed. Because it's it's a good team and you really put yourself in a hole and it's just all right, bro. It's crazy because I don't know any other team at left tackle is this important in the Dallas Cowboys. You would think Tyron Smith, not only should he be in the Hall of Fame, it's definitely the Cowboys Hall of Fame. We should probably put him in the front office when he retires. Because that's how much he means to the team. When he does not play, the team has never been the same. I don't know. It could be 2016 with Romo. It could be Dak. It's night and day. But, the Chiefs' defense looks a lot better. Chris Jones, this is his best game of the season, I would say. For sure.
Yeah.
And he literally bulldozed Zach Martin. Zach Martin's given up one sack since 2019. That was the second. That's not an easy, that's not in every week. I don't care if it's one-on-one. Not an easy task. So, clearly, Chris Jones looks the part. L'Jarius Sneed, I've talked about him before. He's probably one of the, he's just I'm not gonna say he's one of the best slot corners, but he just cares. Clearly, he's just a dog. Some players just care to be good. I think he's just one of those type of players. With the Cowboys, I tweeted this mid-game. I was like, man, Chiefs fans are probably happy that the Cowboys are the only team that thinks that Ezekiel Elliott still has more bursts than Tony Pollard. I said the Chiefs are probably just what? I see Tony Pollard get 2 touches. He's 20 yards on the field. I'm like, okay. It's no way we're watching this. You're like, what, this other guy, he's battling around, but this guy is damn near not touched. So it's just, I don't know. It's a crazy game. I don't think McCarthy coached a bad game though. People kind of killing McCarthy. I don't think McCarthy coached a bad game. At the end of the day, the defense did better than I expected. Like you said, they only scored 19. I assumed at least 30, personally.
Yep.
I think the Cowboys have a decent unit, but 19 is pretty good, especially when you're out DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory. And it's my last thing is Michael Parsons. I've gave Malcolm credit multiple times because I didn't think he was this good. And I still can't believe he's this good every single week. And dude, I don't think anyone knew he was this good.
He's different, dude. As a rookie, to be, first of all, you know how I feel about Tony Pollard. I just wanted to let that out there. I am pro Tony Pollard all the way. But I think even during the game, just to take off some people on my timeline who were Chiefs fans, I tweeted hashtag Pro Bowl vote Tony Pollard right in the middle of it. And then he had a 30-yard play. But anyway, man, Micah, he was all over the place. And it's not just one thing. Yes, he was on the edge for 58 of his 60 snaps or whatever against his Chiefs. He can do everything you need in a linebacker. And he's so athletic, he's so strong, he has the finesse moves. Some players, especially rookies or second year, even third year players, those rookie contract guys, they rely on athleticism and that's it. Micah has the whole bag. That dude, he doesn't play like a rookie. He doesn't look like a rookie. He's athletic. You can tell he's going to be good for, his entire athletic prime. But I think because he's so smart already and kind of picked up stuff, even in 10 years when he's not as fast, he's still going to be a really good player.
Malc?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I do like Michael Parsons. I tried to tell Ron about this way in advance, and I said in different shows. Alec had a show. I told him about that. I said this is a good pickup for Dallas. Was very adamant about that. But at the end of the day, we gotta understand this is the Cowboys. You say you figure out 19 points. Kansas City, they got a win. You gotta understand it's against the Cowboys, so you expect the Cowboys just to mess up when they have big games like this. Another thing is we talked about their defense. Kansas City defense looked very good. They've been looking very good the past couple of weeks. This week, I've seen a different defense, especially with Chris Jones going crazy with 3.5 sacks. Yeah. Snead, he's a very aggressive corner, and he used it to his advantage, for now. But I really think that he's going to get killed sometimes the way he is so aggressive in that nature. But the thing that I have for the Cowboys is, another thing is, yes, they was out receivers. They still had Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Why did they only combine for 82 rushing yards? I think that's a problem that I have, And I mean, we could say that they called a good game. I think that it could have been better based on you could have run the football. You still had the offensive line, even though they were struggling, they could still run that football, control the game, and be able to control the defense. The defense was doing good. It was making stops. You just had to be able to put yourself in the right position. And Dak was getting eaten up with 5 sacks. So you had to be able to run the football, which I just did not see. So that's a problem I had. So one question I have for you, though, Jordan, I wanted to figure out with this defense, what changed, this past month? Because at the end of the day, you seen that it was one of the worst defenses in the league. It's got to be one of the worst defenses in the league history. And now they took a little turn. It changed the past couple months. What changed, though?
It was a lot. It was a snowball of a bunch of stuff. I think Dan Sorensen, bless his heart, man, that dude, he wasn't it this year. He wasn't athletic to begin with, and that completely fell off a cliff. I hate to say it, he's probably washed, and I don't throw that term around lightly. That guy probably is. Again, he's a smart guy, he plays hard, but just really, really limited. So they switched from him to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill was getting healthy. He made a big difference on the back end. That kind of allowed Tyrann Mathieu to go around. They had a couple cornerbacks that were injured. Now they got their 2 starting cornerbacks back. Chris Jones was on the outside. That was their big experiment this year. And he's one of the most athletic and D tackles in football, but he's a D tackle. He's not an edge rusher. That was a 50-50 split, even sometimes more on the outside. They finally kind of gave up on that dream, moved him back in. Getting Melvin Ingram allowed that to kind of happen, where Ingram can be that second edge rusher. Frank Clark got healthy. He's playing some of his best football after almost disappearing for a year and a half. They had a couple linebackers hurt. So really, it was a combination of the coaching staff is being a little bit stubborn. The players were out of position. A few guys were buried in the depth chart when they shouldn't have been. They got healthy, and they brought in Melvin Ingram. So it wasn't Tyrann Mathieu gets healthy, or he fixed the defense, or it all goes to one guy. I think they literally saw how bad it was and was if we're gonna salvage the season, we're gonna have to make some changes.
Okay. All right. Now that's understandable. I definitely feel you with the improvement for the defense. Now let's look on the offense side. I understand that Kansas City only scored 19 points, but are you encouraged about how Patrick Mahomes did things in a type of way? Because I really think that he actually played a lot better, as in using what's available to him instead of always trying to go for the deep passes.
Yeah, I think so. Because against the Raiders, he was insane. Really, really, really good. He was fine against the Cowboys. I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was great. But like you said, just being quick with his reads instead of, I'm going to look down the field for 3 seconds, then boom, I'm stacked or under pressure. It was, I'm going to look down the field, and if I can tell it's not going to work, I'll dump it off to Clyde. I'll dump it off to Darrell Williams. I'll tuck and run. I'll hit Tyreek under short routes. Tyreek Hill, he's almost setting a career high in catches, and he's 11 games in. He's been utilized a ton. Kelsey has been banged up this year, but he finally got him going. So it wasn't the continuation I think, of the Raiders game. Obviously, scoring 41 every game just isn't going to happen. But I think Andy Reid also got a little conservative with the play calling, which is why I was like, they were within 2 scores the entire game. Like, they could have ran the ball and still caught back up. But I think the Chiefs, they just have to find consistency on both sides. Like, the defense obviously isn't going to be this good all year. The offense isn't going to score 19 points the rest of the way. They just have to kind of match those two, and I think they'll be pretty close to being back.
Yeah, I about to say one of the big things about what the Kansas City Chiefs did last night was they able to control the game by running the football. They had 26 attempts at over 4 yards a pop. Now that comes to the question with Ron about this Cowboys defense, and I'd love to explain about this. We talked about that was a big problem this whole entire season with the Cowboys and their rush defense. They thought that it wasn't a problem because at the end of the day, y'all been blowing teams out. But now since we're getting to, y'all playing a lot of better teams, y'all got blown out by Denver with
Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams. And Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams when they was going ahead running through y'all throats. Last week y'all played Atlanta. I really don't think they have any running back as far as a threat. But this week you got Kansas City. Williams was able to, Williams, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, those guys will be able to control, control the offense, control how the game was going by running the football. So the Cowboys, to this point, what do you think is going on with the Cowboys and their defense, Ron?
I'm very encouraged by the defense, actually. This is probably the best Cowboys defense since I've almost been alive. That says a lot.
Okay.
If we truthfully think about it, those Romo years, the defense was bad, man. It just wasn't good. Like, this is just a decent unit, but that's rare for us. We never have a decent unit. So it's like, I think people really don't understand how good DeMarcus Lawrence is. I think he's the best run defensive end in the league. Now, Cam Hayward has a lot to say about that, but DeMarcus Lawrence is that good against the run. You can't just lose that type of guy and you're like, oh, I'll be fine. Because that means he's not as valuable as you think he is. But I think he's that good. The starting defensive tackle was Neville Gallimore. I mean, I knew we have a lot of Oklahoma fans that watched the podcast. That was our starting defensive tackle. He hasn't played since he got hurt in the preseason. Now, it's not a season-ending injury, but I think with the lead we have in the division, we haven't rushed anyone back all year. This is not what we do this year. So I don't know. I think he'll be back. I think he can help. I think the linebackers are overrated. I don't think Keanu Neal is that good. Leigh Van Der Esch, we've always heard me call him. I think he looks really tough, but I don't think he's actually a tough big linebacker. Like, he's really better in coverage than he is against the run, if we're being honest. Like, I don't think he's as good. He's not what you think he is. The safeties of the Cowboys are the biggest surprise. Like, that's a really good unit. They have no big name, but I think it's a really good unit. I think we're probably one of the only teams in the league that uses 4 safeties, and they all play at a high level. Like, Malik Hooker, people forget he's even on the Cowboys. He's like our 4th best safety. Like, we picked up Jayon Curse, who has been a journeyman his whole year. He's having a top 15 year, probably at the position. He plays linebacker with the Cowboys, he plays safety. So I don't know. I think Dan Quinn is trying to get another head coaching job the way he's been coaching this unit. Really, he's giving.
I don't know about that yet. But it's encouraging to see.
I'm saying he is though.
Defense.
He really is though.
But you don't really think that about the run defense is a cause of concern.
No, I do. I think that's why I think the stats lie in that, because people would think the pass defense is bad for the Cowboys. That's the strong unit. Is the point I'm making. The reason why the run defense was so good is because people just like, all right, let's attack corners because they don't have a name. But Anthony Brown has played amazing. Most people don't know who Anthony Brown is. He's been probably top 15 man corner this year. He's been that good in man coverage. Trayvon Diggs, we see what he does. He gives a lot of big plays, but at the end of the day, if you're getting 8 turnovers and a fumble recovery, I mean, you're going to get some of those plays back. The safeties have been amazing, and Michael Parsons is truthfully our only good run stopping player, which isn't good because right now he's our best DN as well. So that doesn't help the team when your best player is your best linebacker and your best DN. That's good and bad in a way.
Yeah, I understand though. But I mean, Jordan, okay, I got this one last question for both of y'all. All right. I see that your team is 7-3, your team is 7-4. I just like to sit down here and ask y'all questions because my team just won last weekend. So I'm a little happy now. My Washington team won. But we don't need to say too much about this because it's about the Kansas City and the Cowboys. So I'm gonna sit down and listen. But let's see. So where do you think the Chiefs are going? Like, how far do you think the Chiefs are going to go? And then do you think they're going to be farther than the Cowboys? Is a question I have to ask.
Man, I'm really, really big on, like, you could be 16 or 17-0 and still lose that first game. Like, I don't know about the playoffs. Weird stuff happens. Like, you get some weird calls that don't go your way. You get a couple guys to get hurt. You have, like, a Patrick Mahomes to Kelsey dropped ball interception. Like, the Chiefs have had weird stuff happen all year to them. Every team has. I could see, especially in the AFC, I could see all those teams getting all the way to the Super Bowl, but I could also see them all losing their first game. And, like, the NFC, it's just stacked. Like, the Bucks, I still believe in them being a Super Bowl team. The Packers, I believe. I know that Ron has some thoughts about the Packers this year that I've seen on the timeline. I think they could get to the Super Bowl. I think the Rams could get to the Super Bowl. I think the Cowboys could get to the Super Bowl. So I think the Chiefs, just because the AFC is struggling right now, and the Chiefs are, like, peaking at the right time, or will peak at the right time. I think they could make a deep playoff run. I think the Cowboys could get to the NFC Championship game. They could even get to the Super Bowl. So I know that doesn't really answer the question, but
so don't answer the question. You're being a little too nice now. You're being a little too nice.
It also depends on the matchup. Like, if the Cowboys play the Rams in their first game, I'd have to pick the Rams. But also if the Chiefs played, Baltimore, I might have to pick Baltimore. So I think the Chiefs are probably built a little bit better to make that run because they have a lot of the pieces they already did it with. But the Cowboys, I think what you're going to get more with them. So, like, if I was betting money, I'd probably bet the Cowboys going further.
Wow, y'all are so nice to the Cowboys. Ron, what do you think?
Dak is cool. Dak's cool.
It's just that with the Cowboys, like, I've been alive for 21 years now, and there's never been a playoff game where I'm like, that might have been the worst call I've ever seen. It's yet to happen for the Cowboys team. Like, I think we're just known for that. People laugh at us. Like, T.J. Smith has been a living off of Lily. It's like, oh man, I don't care if the Cowboys have Brett Favre and John Unitas in one QB. Somehow the refs are gonna be like, you know what, that's not a catch. Oh, you know what, Romo, you're gonna randomly drop a fumble on a PAT kick in the play. Like, that just happens to the Cowboys. I don't know how far we'll go. I think we're NFC Championship material. But if we fall to the 4th seed, we can go out in the first round. But I don't think we will, though. Because I think the Cardinals are going to be the 1 seed, and the Rams are going to have to be the 5 seed. And I think
what if Washington comes back and wins the NFC East? I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Hey, all right. Don't get me happy now. Hey, we could go on a winning streak at the end of the season because we have like 4 divisional games. Playing against Cowboys twice in the Eagles.
Playoffs. That dude's electric.
They do have to catch the Eagles. They have to catch the Eagles. I act like they are chilling.
Eagles are low-key catching fire too, yeah.
I mean, right now, I think the biggest thing in the NFC East is who's the second best quarterback.
Yeah,
we see Jalen Hurts, we see Heineke, and then we see Daniel Jones. Now, so that's pretty big, and I think by the end of the season we'll know the answer to that. But I don't know. We'll see with the Cowboys. It's really based on seeding. I've been telling Malcolm that all year too. I don't like our Rams matchup, and I don't want to play Tom Brady either. I also don't want to play Aaron Rodgers. It's just not like in the NFC. You want to play as least hard team as possible, so you have to get a top 3 seed. If you don't get, I think the Rams are actually gonna really bite this year because I think they have maybe the best team, but they're in a bad division. It's gonna be hard. It means the Rams are gonna have to beat probably like the Bucks, then Dallas, then like the Cardinals. Like, bro, I love Stafford, but God, like that's
god awful for Stafford.
That's god awful.
Start off in the playoffs.
I think you're out. Like
imagine it being like Dak, Rodgers, Brady, or like in any order like that. It'd be oh man, I love the dude, like you said, but it isn't gonna happen.
So we'll see. It's really we'll see because I don't know because Green Bay really could get if Green Bay doesn't play the Bucks, they can maybe run the table. I just don't think they'll beat the Bucks, but if they can somehow escape just playing that one team, it's all it takes. You can run the table, I think. So, any last thoughts?
Before my last talk, so I want to answer the question too, because I really think that Kansas City has a chance to be the farthest. Because you look at the AFC, you don't have a top team. You don't have a top team so far. Tennessee, the top team, just lost. They still have Derrick Henry injury going on. I think that Kansas City, especially since they're getting hot at the right time, I think that's a perfect opportunity for them to be able to make a run and be the first seed in the AFC. The Cowboys, we understand, just like we said, the NFC is stacked, and I think that me watching these games now, Cowboys playing against teams at least 500 above, I see that they have a problem, especially with the run defense and how big of that problem is. Not really too much the passing, but problem with the run defense, because if a team can be able to run effectively on the Cowboys, that gives the offense off the field and it gives more opportunities for the offense on the other squad, and I think that would be a problem for y'all. So can't see the Chiefs. So, but I love to say that because I wanted to make sure I had that question last, just in case we all need to understand, keep it recorded, because I'll make sure I put it up there.
Yeah, Jordan, any last thoughts before we end the pod?
I think that's great. Shout out Tony Pollard. Shout out Tony Romo. I think Romo got too much hate. We don't have to talk about this more than we really need to, but I thought Romo was a good quarterback. Was he elite? No. Was he he got known for that field goal, when he mishandled the snap or whatever? It carried him for his whole career. And even though he was leading fourth quarter comebacks, all that stuff, he had a couple bad interceptions late in games. It's selective with what they remember, I think, about those guys. I'll always remember the Peyton Manning Tony Romo game when they got into that shootout or whatever. Tony Romo was fun, man. The Cowboys have had good quarterback play for quite a while.
No, that's Super Bowl show. But
I wasn't gonna bring that up, but it's out there, and that's what happened, or didn't happen, I guess.
Yeah, just want to make sure that was put down on the podcast. But hey, Jordan, I appreciate you for coming out, though.
Sure.
For being able to take the time out your day, especially after the Kansas City won, because I know that's such a good blessing to be the Cowboys. But
Nah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Jordan. Definitely thanks for coming on the pod. Make sure you all tune in to Jordan's work too. He's definitely one of the best young writers. I was telling him before the podcast, I like his writing style. So, and he's hopefully some good things happen to Jordan. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I knew I could come on, and even if I didn't say too much, Malcolm would do most of the talking for me. I try not to rub stuff in, especially now that I cover them instead of root for them. But
yeah, literally.
With that said, I'm sure Malcolm gave you more than you needed probably over the past couple of days. So thank you guys for having me on.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You already know I love seeing this. I love this. My week is great now, seeing Washington win and Cowboys lose. But I appreciate y'all for you to come on though. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, on Twitter at Malc and Ron Show. And y'all guys have a great night. And happy Thanksgiving to y'all too.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right.